Tell you what, it's been quite some week, Paul. What are the implications of the change to Barnaby Joyce?
Well, many implications, Kieran, but I guess the fundamental one is the authority of the two leaders. The authority of Scott Morrison as Prime Minister and the authority of Barnaby Joyce as the new National Party leader and Deputy Prime Minister. This goes to climate change and net zero at 2050. And the fundamental question here is whether the differences between the Liberals and Nationals are ideological or they're transactional. And they must be transactional if the government is to function and cohere effectively. Now, by that I mean Morrison can't retreat from his position on 2050 by everything he said over the last 6 months about the global energy revolution, about preferably getting to net zero at 2050. His authority is on the line here. Now, the only way this can be resolved is to talk about the price, not to have an ideological difference, but for the Nationals to accept really the sort of discussion that David Littleproud was having with you and what David Littleproud said to me last February when he said, the big issue is the price we pay in terms of 2050. That is, looking after farmers, looking after agriculture, looking after manufacturing in the regions. So I think Morrison and Barnaby Joyce have got to do a transactional deal about price, who's going to pay and who's going to be looked after. If they can sort that out, that resolves the fundamental question and they can both build their political strategies on that foundation. But they've got to get that sorted out and it's got to be fair dinkum and it's got to be transparent.
And if it is done, do they become potentially a potent combination, Paul, in a political sense?
Well, that depends. A lot depends on Barnaby Joyce's performance coming back as National Party leader. A lot depends on how much he's learnt and how disciplined he will be. I think there is certainly a risk of bringing him back to the leadership. Having said that, it's clear that Michael McCormack failed as a leader. He failed to hold the support of his parliamentary party and he failed to project the National Party banner across the country. So the party has gone back to Barnaby Joyce. Now the dilemma for the government overall is whether this means that the Nationals will be stronger, that they'll have a more popular banner, but whether the Morrison government overall will be weakened. Now that's the risk, that's the potential downside. And it's very important for Morrison and Barnaby Joyce to address this issue in terms, first of all, of what the Nationals need, but then secondly, and consistent with that, what the government needs overall. The government's got to emerge from this stronger, not weaker.
Paul Kelly, thanks as always.